Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Spring 2023 Mortarboard National Virtual Initiation Ceremony. My name is Kirsten Fox, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Executive Director of Mortarboard here in the national office. Our office is headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, which is where many of us are calling in from. So I'm pleased to be joined tonight by the rest of our national office staff, some of whom you will hear from later, and others you will likely see on screen and via the chat. A special thank you to Francie Kaufman, who is wearing some fabulous regalia, Ben Phlox, Kara Lisenby, and Trish Maxwell for not only what you did for tonight, but for what you all do for Mortarboard and our chapters. Tonight is only our second virtual initiation ever. When the first Mortarboard initiation took place 105 years ago, I know they could not have fathomed 9 chapters coming together for a single initiation. And to be honest, a virtual initiation was never even a consideration just a few years ago. And here we are doing our second one this academic year. What a great way to support our chapters who want to initiate new members while participating in a larger initiation ceremony with chapters from across the country. This evening, we have more than 150 new collegiate members who will officially be considered Mortarboard members within the hour. Initiates, today you join the ranks of more than 100 years of students across hundreds of chapters selected for exemplary scholarship, leadership, and service. I know you are all already leaders on campus and you're already busy, but I hope you take my words for it when I say this is a really special society and like none other because of our traditions, our calls to action, and our extraordinarily talented and diverse membership. And after today, it is your turn to set the course for your chapter. It will be your time to shine and create history. And I look forward to seeing what you accomplish. And I look forward to serving in my role and helping you along the process. Tonight, we are joined by many other alumni and national leaders who will participate as speakers. And thank you to the many others who are also here to support and celebrate our new collegiate members, including current members, chapter advisors, and family and friends of our new initiates. Thank you for taking time out of your weekend to celebrate our impressive new members who are joining the society today. We have a robust agenda for this short hour, but we want to make this the most meaningful experience possible for each of you. So as you are able, we invite you to make sure you turn your camera on. If you could rename yourself, again, those upper 3 dots in the right-hand corner, to let us know your name as well as your chapter and role. And if you're a guest of an initiate, maybe you could write proud parent of University of Maryland initiate, for example. And please engage with others. Use the chat function and celebrate with emojis. I know I love to see thumbs up, hearts, and claps. And finally, be prepared. We will at some point mark tonight's momentous occasion with a group picture. So make sure your camera ready soon, but we'll give you a heads up. Our national president and 2006 initiate of Hood College, Katie Chick, will serve as tonight's host. However, before she officially welcomes everyone, I would like to start the initiation ceremony by playing a song that the Mortarboard Singers recorded in 2020 in preparation for our first virtual national conference. So please sit back and enjoy Mortarboard Ode.
We Mortarboard receive you with welcome hearts and hands to represent the noble aims for which our college stands. And this our aim, whate'er befall, respond to alma mater, so be on soil true and strong as future Mortarboards.
Welcome to this evening's virtual initiation. As Dr. Kirsten Fox shared, we are so thrilled to have you here and to see 176 people signed into tonight's Zoom and several more joining as they're able. This is our second virtual initiation, and it's so wonderful to see two of our singers who were in that video on tonight's call, immediate past president Gail Harrison Corbett, and our president of the National Foundation and past president of National Council, Dr. Barb Arnold. So thank you for your gift from many years ago that keeps giving. As Kirsten said, my name is Katie Chick, and I serve as your national president of Mortar Board. This is a night that we are so excited for, as we will welcome new members from 9 different chapters: Beloit College, the University of California, Santa Barbara, Hope College, Jackson State University, the Pennsylvania State University, the University of Louisville, the University of Mary Washington, University of Maryland, and University of Tulsa. We are also joined by students from other chapters who were not able to attend their on-campus initiations. We're so glad that each of you has joined us this evening for this special moment. Just this weekend, my own Facebook account reminded me that 16 years ago today, I was initiating the new class of members into the Keystone chapter of Mortar Board at Hood College. It's an honor to be doing that with each of you tonight on your campuses virtually. Now on to the agenda. First, tonight you'll hear more about Mortar Board, who we are and what our purpose is as a national organization. I know many of you are just learning that as you were just selected. Then we will begin the formal initiation ceremony, where we'll invite new initiates to come off of mute as we formally ask you to take up the torch of leadership. From there, we'll hear more about Mortar Board's history, both nationally and on the campuses represented here tonight. Before finalizing tonight's initiation, we'll read Mortar Board's official poem, The Torch, and then we'll get to the best part of the ceremony, officially welcoming our collegiate members into membership. Also, as Kirsten mentioned, what good group Zoom would be complete without a picture, so please be sure your camera ready in the next 20 to 30 minutes as we want to mark this momentous occasion. Now, without further ado, I'll start by sharing some information about the organization that unites us here tonight, Mortar Board. Mortar Board is a national college society, or National Honor Society of college seniors, recognizing our members for their qualities of superior scholastic ability, outstanding and continual leadership, and dedicated service to the college or university community. The Mortar Board is a symbol of ancient honor. You see Francie's on her head today, and distinction. In the earliest universities, students adopted the clerical or monastic robes as a sign that they were devoting their lives to the profession of learning. And we too wear a distinguishing sign, the Mortar Board. In ancient days, students from many lands who spoke diverse tongues were able to meet on a common ground by using the classic language of learning. So too, we, students in many universities and colleges, are bound by the 3 Greek letters Pi, Sigma, Alpha, representing the ideals of Mortar Board: scholarship, service, and leadership. The gold of our colors stands for achievement, and the silver for opportunity. The purpose of Mortar Board is set forth in Article 2 of our national bylaws and will be read by our immediate past president, Gail Harrison Corbett, from the Mabel G. Freeman chapter at The Ohio State University.
Thank you, Katie. We, the undersigned, recognizing the advantage of a national union of senior honor societies, do hereby unite to form a national society whose purpose shall be facilitate cooperation among these societies, contribute to the self-awareness of its members, to promote equal opportunities among all peoples, to emphasize the advancement of the status of women, to support the ideals of the college or university, to advance a spirit of scholarship, to recognize and encourage leadership, to provide service, and to establish the opportunity for a meaningful exchange of ideas as individuals and as a group.
Thank you, Gail. No matter how many times I hear or read our purpose, I'm inspired by what Mortar Board members have done on campuses across the country for over 105 years. Now, I'd like to speak to our new initiates. If you're being initiated this evening, will you come off of mute? Please turn your camera on as you're able and raise your hand as you're able. New initiates, will you strive earnestly to maintain these ideals and purposes? And if so, please say, I will.
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 I will. I will. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is so fun. While it is an honor to be selected for membership in Mortar Board, it is the willingness of the selected individual to make the commitment to serve that differentiates an honor society from an honorary. When one accepts membership, this acceptance indicates your agreement to accept the responsibility and obligation to be an active participant in your chapter. This commitment is an agreement to actively support the ideals of the society. With this honor, will each of you accept the responsibility of active participation? And if so, please respond, I will.
I will.
I will.
Oh, it is wonderful hearing so many voices. Thank you. You may now go back onto mute until later on in the ceremony. At this time, I'd like to invite two members of our national leadership to read the national history of Mortar Board. Dr. Patience Whitworth, our Vice President on National Council from the Mabel G. Freeman chapter at The Ohio State University, and Trish Maxwell, our Director of Chapter Development and Collegiate Operations.
Thank you, Katie. At the University of Chicago in 1915, a wearer of a gold pin in the shape of a mortarboard met another wearer of a pin, not like her own, but also in the shape of mortarboard. Each one represented a group of senior college women striving to render service to their alma mater. The two talked together. If such an ideal existed on two American campuses, it probably existed on other campuses across the country. Why were these groups with like ideals not united? The group of one of the wearers of the pen worked for 2 years to interest similar groups in the idea of a national organization of senior societies for women, with the result that in 1918, the delegates from 5 organizations met together representing The Ohio State University, Swarthmore College, the University of Michigan, Syracuse University, and Cornell University. On February 15th and 16th, they founded the first and only National Honor Society for senior women and established the badge, motto, ritual, and constitution. The name for the new society was referred to the local groups, and Mortar Board was chosen in preference to a Greek letter name. Thus, the new Honor Society organization began its life in American campuses. The society has grown steadily since then. Now there are 234 chapters in the nation. The latest chapter was just installed at the College of Charleston in March 2023.
In 1975, a historic event occurred when membership in our formerly all-women's organization was extended to include men. This occurred at a special national conference that was convened in Kansas City, Missouri, to consider the ramifications of the regulations to Title IX, which prohibited sex discrimination by organizations on campus that are recipients of federal funds. The purpose of this society was strengthened to include emphasis upon the advancement of the status of women. Delegates to the 23rd National Conference of Mortar Board in June 1976 added to the purpose to promote equal opportunities among all peoples. At the 1985 conference, Mortar Board delegates passed a resolution to initiate a national project to be chosen by vote of delegates at the national conference. The delegates selected Organ Donor Awareness for the first national project, and in 2002, Reading is Leading was selected as the permanent project. Mortar Board celebrated our centennial in 2018 in Columbus, Ohio, with many former national leaders in attendance. In 2020, amidst a global pandemic, Mortar Board launched our current strategic plan with a focus on collegiate chapters, enhancing member benefits to meet our member needs, and increasing commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging across all chapters and our national organization. Since 1918, more than 300,000 members have been initiated into Mortar Board, and we're thrilled that everyone here today can now create the history and the new traditions that will keep our society great in the future.
Thank you, Patience and Trish. These are two national leaders that you'll have great opportunity to work with over this next year. They are superstars who support our section coordinators, your main link to the national organization. And now it's my pleasure to invite 3 of those section coordinators to share a little bit of the local history for the chapters participating in this year's virtual initiation. Chapter histories will be shared by the Region 2 section coordinator, Wilson Chan from the University of Louisville chapter, Region 4 section coordinator, Brendan Wall from the Illinois State University chapter, and Region 6 section coordinator, Dr. Catherine Gabrielson from the San Diego State University chapter.
1934, University of Maryland, Adele H. Stamp Chapter, Region 1. The Women's Senior Honor Society was founded in the spring of 1925 by Dean of Women, Adele H. Stamp, to bring together women students of the senior class who have maintained a high standard of scholarship and leadership, and who have all times showed their willingness to serve the best interests of the universities. Early initiates were always public and on the Sunday morning of Baccalaureate Sunday. The society started the traditional ivy planting on Class Day in 1925. The mortarboard chapter was installed in 1935 and the December 8 initiation, and many alumni returned to be initiated. A formal tea was held the next day. 1935, the Pennsylvania State University, Achosai chapter, Region 1. In 1926, a group of 11 outstanding women formed an honorary group with aims to parallel mortarboard. The group chose the Greek name Achosai, meaning officials. 9 years later, on November 23rd, 1935, the Pennsylvania State University Achosai chapter was installed as mortarboard's 16th chapter. The ceremony was held at the Nittany Lions Inn, and 400 faculty members and student leaders attend the installation and banquet. 1949, University of Louisville, Palace Chapter, Region 2. On May 3rd, 1932, the Palace Club was formed to recognize women of the senior class who had made outstanding contributions through leadership and scholarship. The name came from Pallas Athena, the goddess of peace, wisdom, and service, whose head adorns the university seal. The chapter was very active across campus, and members were noted for accomplishments as well. The most coveted honor on campus was the Pallas Outstanding Freshman Award. Mortarboard installation was on March 26, 1949 in Robbins Hall, with 57 alumni initiated and 3 honorary members.
1950, the University of Tulsa Senior Staff Chapter, 5. Senior staff was established on April 19th in 1933 by Dean of Women Myrtle Gleason Cole, with a purpose to give recognition to women students who attained distinction in scholarship, leadership, and service. Senior staff made an application to mortarboard that was ultimately delayed due to World War II. The installation on May 19th, 1950, was held in Tyrell Hall Auditorium for 61 alumni, 6 honorary, and 16 active members. President C.I. Pontius spoke at the banquet and was attended by all the academic deans. 1951, Beloit College Senior Bench Chapter, Region 4. A local group of senior women called the Golden Taper was established in 1926 by the Dean of Women with the express purpose of petitioning for mortarboard. When the dean left, the group disbanded, and another group, the Royal Order of the Senior Bench, was formed in 1929. The chapter gave an annual tea for faculty women, chaperoned dances, sponsored senior tables in the dorms, and presented all college convocations in the chapel. Dean of Women Elizabeth B. Stanton filed a petition for membership once the group's membership exceeded 50, and on May 26, 1951, the chapter at Beloit was installed as mortarboard's 84th chapter at the home of President Carey. 1959, University of Mary, Washington, Cap and Gown Chapter, Region 1. In 1944, the Cap and Gown was founded to recognize those students who exhibited outstanding qualities of leadership, scholarship, and service during their 3 years in college. Cap and Gown officially became a mortarboard chapter on May 24, 1959. Installation was held in the Hall of Mirrors in George Washington Hall. 17 college members and 9 alumni members were initiated, with the chancellor presiding, and almost every member of the administration and many faculty members were present.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the Hope College Diane Portfleet Alcor chapter. Alcor was founded in the fall of 1937 and organized to give recognition to outstanding senior women and an opportunity for more effective campus service. The name Alcor is Arabic word meaning attest, which is symbolic of the high requirements for acceptance into the society. Alcor is also the name of a star in the constellation Ursa Major. The star was adopted as an insignia for the organization, and the A of Alcor symbolized the 3 qualities of scholarship, leadership, and service. Installation into mortarboard occurred on March 18, 1961. In 2016, the chapter added the name of its outstanding retiring advisor, Diane Portfleet, a Hope College mortarboard alumna from 2011, to the chapter's original name. The announcement was made at the college's Honors Day, surprising Dr. Portfleet. It is now my pleasure to welcome the University of California, Santa Barbara's Crown and Scepter chapter. Crown and Scepter was founded in 1937 as a senior women's honor organization focused on scholarship, leadership, and service. Since 1938, the group presented a scholarship award to the senior woman with the highest grade point average at the baccalaureate service. The group also sponsored surveys and studies that provided information to the student body for administrative action and sponsored faculty-student dinners. At the time of the mortarboard installation in 1965, the chapter sponsored the Senior Torchlight Farewell, which followed the baccalaureate service. The installation of mortarboard on May 16, 1965, was at the home of the chancellor, which was described as having a beautiful view of the Pacific Ocean, followed by a reception in the Women's Residence Lounge. The UCSB chapter also holds a special place in my heart today, because with the help and leadership of my daughter, Nicole Gabrielson, this special group is reestablishing their chapter on campus after 10 years of dormancy. And I have the privilege of witnessing my daughter become a mortarboard legacy member. Now, last but not least, I have the pleasure of welcoming the Jackson State University Blue and White Tassel chapter. 3 years ago, mortarboard's 233rd chapter was installed at Jackson State University on October 30th in a magnificently organized virtual program that was broadcast live on JSU TV via Facebook. The program was moderated by Senior Advisor Dr. Loria Brown Gordon and Interim President, now President Thomas Hudson, accepted the charter in gracious address. The guest speaker was Senior Advisor of the Hypnosis chapter at Alcorn State University, Miss Monica Burr, who encouraged the chapter to, quote, be creative, be inclusive, and be innovative. Enjoy this year and create memories together, end quote. Then National President Gail Harrison Corvette of The Ohio State University in 1980 presented the charter and initiated the 23 new members of the Blue and White Tassel chapter. Trustee Jan Griffin Farrington of the University of Mississippi 1964 read the torch. We also have students joining us tonight from the Tillion chapter at Northern Michigan University in Region 3, established in 1979, and the Jane K. Smith Cap and Gown chapter at San Diego State University in Region 6, established in 1965. Welcome, everyone.
Well, thank you, Wilson, Brendan, and Catherine. Thank you to everyone who lit up our chat, from collegiate members to parents to advisors to alumni celebrating this occasion. We are so happy to have you here. You may have noticed that I even teared up a little bit hearing about the rich histories on many of your campuses and thinking about the possibilities that each of you will be bringing to make mortarboard greater, both on your campuses and in our national community. I'm proud to be your president. To our new initiates, you've heard the history of today's mortarboard and the way it developed when 2 women who shared a common set of ideals in 1918 came together to form a unique society for senior women in the United States. You heard about the roots of your chapters on your local campuses, local organizations that then connected with this National Honor Society and saw the value in becoming part of a broader community of scholar leaders. And you've learned of Mortarboard's ideals and purpose. Now tonight, you will add the next chapter in the history of Mortarboard. You have all been chosen as leaders to foster all that is noble in your college or university, and you will not work alone. You'll be bound in the loyalty of common ideals to other students in other institutions of learning who will strive with you to maintain and advance the ideals of Mortarboard. The alumni from your institution have paved the way forward, and we hope you will continue to answer the call to pave the way forward for the next generation. Your chapter presidents or advisors will soon receive a packet from the national office with your certificates and pins. If you do have your pin tonight, you may pin it on your shirt now if you have not already. And if you don't be alarmed. Many of you will be getting it this week. But we would ask that you, when you get your pin, post a picture of yourself wearing it and tag Mortarboard. We'd love to see you on social media and you representing Mortarboard as generations of Mortarboards have. I know every alumni who was on our call early was comparing notes on our pins and necklaces and other Mortarboard regalia that we're proud to wear at all times. We charge you to give in leadership and service the best that is within you, and charge you to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging on your campuses, doing what you can to promote equal opportunities for all people and continuing to advance the status of women. Now, I would ask you to come off of mute, turn on your cameras as you're able, and raise your hand. So Mortarboard initiates, having heard the purpose of Mortarboard and the responsibilities you are expected to assume, will you receive the certificate which makes you a member of Mortarboard, accepting both the honor and burden of its privileges? And if so, please say I will.
I will. I will.
Thank you. You can come off of mute again. You as new members will recognize the opportunity of sharing interests among yourselves as a group of intelligent and concerned individuals, and we welcome you to membership tonight. Now, as evidence of the trust we place in you, we ask you to each affirm our bylaws by placing your signature on the virtual roll if you have not already, which is the chat, and also receiving your symbol of membership as you receive it and accepting the Mortarboard certificate of membership. If you've already introduced yourself in the chat and you want to share a little more about what you're studying or other organizations you're part of on your campuses, we'd love to get to know you a little bit better. Now, I am pleased to ask President-elect Dr. Cassandra Lucas from the Barbara Cook chapter at Purdue to recite the torch, a poem of great importance to Mortarboard members for nearly a century. This poem was introduced in 1925 by Elizabeth Fury of our Torchbearer chapter at Florida State University.
Thank you, Katie. The torch. The God of great endeavor gave me a torch to bear. I lifted it high above me in the dark and murky air. And straightway, with loud hosannas, the crowd proclaimed its light and followed me as I carried my torch through the starless night. Till drunk with the people's praises and mad with vanity, I forgot 'twas the torch they followed and fancied they followed me. Then slowly my arm grew weary, upholding the shining load, and my tired feet went stumbling over the dusty road. And I fell with the torch beneath me. In a moment the light was out, when lo, from the throng a stripling sprang forth with a mighty shout, caught up the torch as it smoldered and lifted it high and tall, till fanned by the winds of heaven, it fired the souls of all. And as they lay in the darkness, the feet of the trampling crowd passed over and far beyond me, its paeans proclaiming aloud. And I learned in the deepening twilight the glorious verity. 'Tis the torch that the people follow, whoever the bearer may be.
Thank you, Cass. Now, to all present this evening, I'm pleased to introduce these newly initiated members of Mortarboard. Congratulations. Please, I invite all advisors, alumni, family of new initiates, and initiates yourselves to celebrate by using the emojis and different reactions in Zoom to congratulate everyone for this exciting moment. And now it is time for a picture. So I would ask that folks come off of video as they're able, put on their best smile and pause for a moment as Ben Phlox, our Manager of Membership and Operations, takes our picture for posterity to mark this special occasion. We appreciate the opportunity, though, to capture this moment together and for all of you for joining us in this National Virtual Initiation Ceremony. I also just want to take a moment to say thank you for actively participating. I know many of you are studying for finals and running back and forth between different events that you have on campus or in your communities. And so thank you for taking this hour with Mortarboard. I hope it's the first of many opportunities that you have to see our wonderful community, both locally and nationally. And I can't wait to see you at future Mortarboard events. So this is the conclusion of tonight's ceremony. Our national organization thanks you for your guidance and support of our newest members. And I want to say, I hope that we will see you at future events such as our virtual national conference this July 14th through 16th. We want to see a member from each of your campuses and the others present, and there'll be opportunity for multiple members to join. So be on the lookout for more information, likely from Trish, patients, and your section coordinators. Remember, Mortarboard is membership for life, and so you will find many opportunities to forge your Mortarboard family, both on your campus and amidst our impressive alumni base. You've shown unprecedented resilience during your college career thus far and still emerged as someone at the top of your class and worthy of this great honor. I'm so honored to be in your midst and to serve as your national president. Congratulations, have a great end of your semester and a wonderful end of your weekend. Thank you all.